The People's Democratic Party has outrightly rejected the outcome of the recent by-elections alleging sabotage of the BVAS system and electoral malpractice by the ruling APC. The by-election was held to fill a vacant seat in the Edo State House of Assembly. And of course, we'll be talking about this, looking at the BVAS, which is the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System that was deployed as mandated by INEC to ensure voter authenticity and authentication as well as transparency.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, declared APC's candidate winner in the keenly contested poll, but the PDP says the process was anything but transparent. They're calling it a digital hijack of democracy.
Now, the PDP, in its rejection of the exercise, of course, has claimed that the BVAS devices were compromised, alleging that data was manipulated, voter accreditation was sabotaged, and that APC operatives colluded with electoral officials to rig the process digitally. Joining us now to get more reactions to this development is the Publicity Secretary of the PDP in Edo State, Honourable Chris Nehikare. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good morning for having me.
All right. Let's start with the core of your allegation. You've accused the APC of sabotaging BVAS. Can you walk us through the specific evidence that your party has uncovered? Because, you know, the ruling party would believe that this is just a smear campaign, or, you know, another way to interpret your party being bitter at the fact that it didn't come out tops in the elections.
I think, first of all, I need the background. The election was not an election to the House of Assembly. It was to two by-elections in Edo, one to the Senate. That is where the governor was before he became governor. The seat was vacant, and also one to the National Assembly, that's in the House of Representatives, where the deputy governor was before. He too left the seat to become deputy governor. So those were the two vacancies we had, Senate and the House of Representatives election. That is what we did. One for the Edo Central and one for the VIA Federal constituency. And with that background taken care of, it's also good to also understand that even the governor, Senator Bimodal, when he went to cast his vote, he complained about his the BVAS. But well, that was part of the acting they were doing, as if oh, I'm not happy with this. There's a problem here, a problem there. But the truth of the matter is, it was a complete sabotage by INEC. The state rec, we had rejected him before. He had done the same thing in the last governorship election, whereby he turned himself into a collusion agent for APC and changed results that were coming in from the units and wards. This time around, the rigging started right from the units. First and foremost, they sent in their thugs, they called them vigilante, they sent in the police, they sent in the DSS to shoot into the air, to scare away people, drive away people, and then obviously did not use the BVAS to do the accreditation I was supposed to do, and then filling in figures into the result sheets indiscriminately. And that's why you notice that in some wards or some units that results, when the results have been announced, we're having things like APC 600, PDP 0. An election that took place for about 5-6 hours, it's impossible to accredit using the BVAS machine and then vote more than 300-400 people within 5 to 6 hours, because each process takes at least 2 minutes. These are things we've gone through over and over and over again, and we all know the procedure, we know the protocol involved. And not only that, we also have people that saw these things happening. And to also perpetrate the fraud they were doing, INEC deliberately refused to print our party agents' cards. They asked us, demanded for us to send party agents from each of the units, setting up number, each of the local government and each of the wards. We did all those things as requested by INEC. And INEC, in part of the compromise, they now only printed 11 cards, agent cards, and then barred all our other agents from going near there were 54 wards in Edo Central. from going near the polling units, while APC and their thugs had a field day writing results, manipulating BVAS, and doing all those things, and made it very difficult for us to have a free, fair, and transparent election.
I mean, Honourable Chris Nehikare, these are very serious allegations that you've leveled against the ruling party and, of course, the Independent National Electoral Commission, as a result of what you said, is also complicit in this. Would you say this allegations of electoral malpractices happened in the two by-elections, the one for the Senate and the House of Representatives? And also, you did indict the State Resident Electoral Commission as being part of this whole rigging exercise. Have you made your complaints known to the appropriate authorities, and would you be challenging the results of these elections as the People's Democratic Party in the courts?
All right, before you respond, Honourable Chris, we'll go on a very quick break. I'll take your response when we return.
You're welcome back to Breakfast Central. And this morning, we're currently looking at the by-election aftermath in Edo State. And joining us this morning is the PDP Publicity Secretary in Edo State, Honourable Chris Nehikare. Honourable Nehikare, just before we went on that break, I wanted to know if your allegations of widespread electoral malpractices applied to both the Senate and the House of Reps by-elections in Edo State. You also mentioned the State Resident Electoral Commission of INEC being complicit in this electoral malpractices. I want to know if if the PDP will be making a formal complaint and contesting the results of this elections in the courts, because these are very grave and serious allegations.
Thank you very much. You see, as a political party standing in the gap for the people, these are things we take very seriously. And as we speak, we are gathering the evidence as usual. And we've not made a decision yet, because the truth of the matter is, we don't even trust the courts. Most of these things, it's amazing when you say BVAS, which is probably the most important tool in our democratic process. When you take evidence of these to court, and then our justices, our court system will act as if they are unimportant. So I think that is what has emboldened this government, emboldened this resident electoral commissioner in Edo, Professor Onora, what his name is, to make them so emboldened to be able to do things with impunity, brazenly, because they know the courts are not going to listen to what they're doing. In a sane society, when a management of an organization like INEC repeatedly, consistently sabotages election, creates what we would now call democracy darkness in Edo and in Nigeria as a whole, they should be prosecuted, or they will now be going through prosecution. You cannot consistently say there's a glitch in your most important tool to run an election. You did it in 2023, you did it in 2024, and you're doing it again in 2025. And there is no consequence for this laziness, no consequence for the incompetence, and there's no morality. So as a political party, we don't know what to do, but to keep encouraging Nigerians that the chickens will come home to roost at the appropriate time. And that is where we are. You know, that is where we are. And I will say, Nigeria is not designed like this. It's not. This is not what our forefathers planned. But then when you have buccaneers and have all the levers of power, they think they can use it any which way they want. We were in government, PDP was in government, and we never had anything so brazen. And then people think they turn away and then they look at the other side and they, it's politicians. It's not. What is happening is that Nigeria is being cheated.
All right, Honourable, some have said that the PDP is scared because it's losing its stronghold in Edo State. And that's why the PDP...
We are not scared, I'll correct you, sir. We are not scared.
Okay.
There's nothing to be afraid of. What we have in by-elections, we know that it's a case of pirates and the buccaneers. what's called Alibaba and the 40 thieves. So we know that's what happens in the by-elections like this. You know, the government in power at the state level or the government in power at the federal level uses its might to bamboozle or bulldoze to get results to match its agenda. So that we are not scared. No, we're not.
You're not scared. Honourable, you're not scared. You're not scared, but do you admit that the PDP is losing its stronghold in Edo State?
You see, you're making a mistake. I'll tell you what we mean by stronghold. Before 2020, PDP was in opposition in Edo State from 2008 to 2020, 12 years. And when we won the election in 2020, we came into government and we spent 4 good years in government and we did marvelously well. There is no reasonable Edo person, no reasonable Nigerian that will go out to vote today and say they are voting for APC. You know that, I know that. So, but when the government or INEC have now turned to the military arm of the APC, Nigerians should be the ones that are really bothered, not say PDP. No, not PDP, it's Nigerians. We're the ones who should be bothered. When there's a free and fair election, it is best that the winner can go and smile that yes, I won because the people voted me. So as a political party, we are not scared. We weep for Nigeria right now. We weep for democracy. We are in democracy darkness, and the light must shine very soon.
All right, if you say you're not scared and therefore you are blaming the entirety and everything that happened over the weekend on the APC, do you also think that there's a state capture that is ongoing as we speak? Because if you say the PDP actually won, but unfortunately, what came out from INEC shows that the PDP was nowhere near the APC. What do you actually attribute that to, aside from blaming the APC for manipulating results?
Well, I think I thought you were listening to what I've been saying. I'm telling you, these results were manufactured. It's obvious it was manufactured. First of all, I told you about, first and foremost, INEC refusing to give our agent cards so they can also sit by while they monitor votes going on at the polling units. Strategically and systematically, this was denied PDP agents. So that gave APC and INEC the opportunity to write whatever result they felt like writing. Because then, without an agent card, you are not allowed to approach where the INEC supervisors, which we also know, most of them were also card-carrying members of APC. It was all a strategic plan to deny Edo people their rightful voice. And you see why it makes us why it's comical is that we cannot even take this to court because the courts can't play like the three deaf and blind, deaf and dumb to APC shenanigans. So we're telling you what happened, what we saw. It's left for you. You look at the results. You look at the results. APC 100 and something thousand, PDP 15,000. Come on, look at it. In which by-election will you have this kind of figures? Impossible. Then for the other one, you have 17,000 and the PDP 3,000. It's impossible. We know this. In some of the unit results, look at them. APC 600, PDP 0. A unit where not up to 300 people, not up to 400, not up to 150 people came out to vote. Those are the issues, not whether PDP is down or not. But then we look at it and laugh because we know in 2027,
now,
they will not be able to send out all these thoughts, all these police across small, the same thing they did in the governorship election, which they didn't win. Look and compare the results you are getting today, especially in the senatorial district, to a general election that the turnout was higher. Compare the results in the Edo Central senatorial district. So the governor is from Edo Central. In the last election, he had slightly above 300,000 votes in the whole state. And he lost his senatorial district. Today he's telling us he had 105,000 votes for one senatorial district. It's laughable. Laughable.
Now, Honourable, you've leveled allegations against the electoral umpire, INEC, saying that they are complicit in the illegalities, in your opinion, that took place during the by-elections. But INEC has insisted that the BVAS system was functional and secure You've also said you're not so confident in the courts in seeking legal steps to address these challenges. So what's the next step for the People's Democratic Party in Edo State as we inch towards the 2027 elections? Because, I mean, you don't seem to have any faith in the system, in the courts, and also the electoral umpire.
Well, I believe you're a Nigerian, and I think all I will ask you, do you have faith in the system as it is today in Nigeria? Do you have faith in the INEC? Do you have faith in the courts? Do you have faith in the government? Those are the questions that you need to ask. Not as PDP, what we're doing is preparing ourselves for the 2027 elections. We believe that there are more chances for us to be able to have an election where soldiers is not militarized. What is happening now, you send soldiers to places like Edo to go and intimidate and harass people to vote because they are off-season elections. But when we have a general election where over 15 or 20, some 200,000 units are voted at the same time, we will not have that kind of, you won't have the kind of energy to do that kind of thing. So that's what we're saying. So we believe more in the general elections. We believe more that more people will come out and we'll be able to articulate our program between now and then to get more, because everybody's feeling the pinch. You know, what you're going to be voting against then is APC. Nobody's going to come out and pretend that they're having a wonderful time when that is coming.
All right.
So,
I mean, 2027 is around the corner. The next few weeks and months will unveil what the plans the PDP has, you know, to sort of challenge this. And we're going to keep following up with the story. Honourable Chris Nehikare, thank you for joining us this morning.
thank you very much for having me.
All right.